ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकायै स्तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। संसारदुःखजलदस्य पतितस्य कामः क्रोधादिनक्रमकृकवलीकृतस्य दुर्वासनस्य निगृतस्य निराशयस्य चैतन्यचन्द्रमम देहि पदावलम्बम्। आनन्दलीलामय विग्रहाय हेमाम्य दिव्यछविसुन्दराय तस्मै महाप्रेमरसपदाय चैतन्यचन्द्राय नमो नमस्ते। राधाचिन्तनिवेशिनं यस्य कान्तिविलोपिता श्रीकृष्णचरणं वन्दे राधालिङ्गितं विग्रहम्। भक्त्या विहीनाय अपराधलक्षै क्षिप्तस्य कामादितरङ्गमध्ये कृपामयि तं शरणं प्रपन्न वृन्दे नुमस्ते चरणारविन्दम्। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। All together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So, from where to begin with? We used to have Zoom classes last year, but because of travels and especially in India, very intense traveling and intense preaching, say like 4 or 5 programs every day, it's difficult to maintain the Zoom classes. And after the India tour, I came to Holland, and then from Holland, I'm in America, New York right now. So I was thinking to start with Zoom classes again. I remember we were reading Shri Bhajan Rahasya by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and we ended up with a chapter 1, which took us a long time. I think it was like 4 or 5 months, because we were hearing elaborately some topics, the details of and the moods of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, which he infused in his great work, Shri Bhajan Rahasya, which is very important for all of us as sadhakas. We are practicing Krishna consciousness. We are not perfect beings. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in this book, Bhajan Rahasya, he is explaining the details from Pratham Yam Sadhan, and he's relating how wonderfully he's relating the eightfold pastimes, the Ashtayam of Radha Krishna pastimes, with the secrets of bhajan, means the secrets of sadhan. Specifically, he used the word bhajan rasya, means when sadhan get condensed, it turns to bhajan. In other words, focusing on one's object of worship, focusing on one's services, that focusing is known as bhajan. What are the secrets of bhajan? and how to get involved with the information of those secrets is what Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is teaching us, guiding us, instructing us, inspiring us, and blessing us with this great work, Shi Bhajan Rahasya. One can one can contemplate on the title itself. What is the meaning of Shi Bhajan Rahasya? So, if we read this book or if we hear this book, I also done this book as audio. If anyone wants to hear this while at work, etc., the work situations, they can hear this book. How he's connecting the bhajan, the daily practices, with Ashtayam Leela, the eightfold pastimes of Radha Krishna, which is happening where? In Shri Golok Vrindavan. That's called Nitya Leela. What Krishna performs here in this Bhom Vrindavan, on this planet, is called Namatik Leela. The Ashtakayam Leela Smaran is from Golok Vrindavan. What Radha and Krishna, what Krishna and the Brajvasis, what they are doing there. So many details are there. If you remember, we read chapter 1 and we ended with chapter 1. Today I'm going to start with chapter 2, which is titled Dvitiyam Sadhan. Dvitiyam Sadhan means Prata Kaliya Bhajan. Prior to this, chapter 1 was Pratham Yam Sadhan, that was Nishanta Leela. Yeah. And Nishanta Leela is from 3:30 a.m. to 6 a.m. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he gave us that inspiration how to enter in that Nishanta Leela. So if anyone say what we have to do with Radha Krishna pastimes, what we have to do with Ashtayam Leela Smaran, I'm not qualified, I'm not Adhikari, this is completely true, absolutely true. We are not Adhikari, we are not qualified. But is that we always be remaining unqualified, and there will be no hope and there will be no chance and there will be no opportunity to become qualified, because that's our sadhya, that's our goal. That's our goal, to attain the service of divine couple Radha Krishna, to enter in that divine domain, to serve them. That's ultimate. And it's also true that we are not qualified. But Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is making us qualified with this information, how we can focus sincerely on our sadhana. Otherwise, the days and nights are passing. Bhagavatam say, Ayur harti pa pumsam, uday antastayanchano. Sunrise and sunset. And in this way, days, weeks, months, and years are passing by. So we need to get focusing and meditating on our object of worship. What is my Vishay Vigraha? What is my object of worship? Is earning money is only the object of my life? Is getting married is only the object of our life? Building a big house is only the object of our life? Any kind of material prosperity, is that the only object of our life? The object has to be set up right in the beginning. With all these objectives, we can't get through the ultimate goal of our life, sadhe. And that sadhe for every living being is our home, back to Godhead. To get entrance into in those yam, ashtakali lila yam. So, second chapter starts with Ditya Yam Sadhan, Prata Kaliya Bhajan. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is now in this chapter, which is very important for us because we are struggling with our sadhan. We are not struggling with our bhajan. We are still on the plane of struggling with our practices, our daily practices. कबू नाम अभास सदा नाम अपराध ये सब जानुब भाई हरि भक्ति बाद. Sometimes नाम अभास, but most of the time नाम अपराध. But all these are detrimental to bhakti. Hari bhakti बाद. जदि करीब शुद्ध नाम साधु संग कर भुक्ति मुक्ति वांछा दूरे परिहर. If anyone interested in chanting Shuddha Nam, then Jadi Karibe Shuddha Nam Sadhu Sangakar, then we have to be in association of sadhus. So by reading Bhajan Resse, by hearing Bhajan Resse, we are actually associating with a great Mahabhagavat, Saptam Goswami. Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidanand Namane Gaur Shakti Sarupaya Rupanuga Varayate. The best amongst Rupanuga. One who can give us that insight of the mood of Rupanuga Gurujans. The mood of Shri Rup Goswami, which is not different from the mood of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur carrying this mood of Par Dukhe Dukhi. You cannot see the sufferings of people in this world, and especially the sadhakas, who are sincerely, actually, in one sense, sincerely want to do bhajan, but failure. Want to do bhajan, but failure in all the fields, in all the areas. By reading Bhajan Resse, definitely is giving so much inspiration. That's why the title, the second chapter, is Anarth Nivritti in Sadhu Sangha. Isn't it interesting? Anarth Nivritti in Sadhu Sangha. There's no Anarth Nivritti in regular practices. The mood of Anarth Nivritti comes when we are in Sadhu Sangha. So those who are beginners, just to make them aware of this term, Anartha Nivritti. Anartha means unwanted desires which are inherent in us from time immemorial, and we are holding those unwanted desires from many, many lifetimes. How to get rid of these unwanted desires? This can only be happen in Sadhu Sangha. First of all, what are the unwanted desires which are inherent in me or in any of us? First, to get awareness of that. We are not even aware. But first the awareness comes, and then we focus on that particular, that one point on earth, which is always troubling me. Let's say greed. I know I'm greedy for many objects. I know I'm greedy. I know this is my anartha. So first of all, to get awareness where I'm getting stuck, and then with the strength of, with the push of that sadhu sangha, overcoming anartha nivritti. That's the only one negative point in the 9 stages to achieve prema. Everything else is positive, because as we know, the hierarchy of this system of attaining prema: ado shraddha, sadhu sangha, bhajan kriya, nishta, ruchi, asakti, bhav, and prem. There's only one point, anartha nivritti, which comes after bhajan kriya. Everything else is positive. Shraddha, sadhu sangha, bhajan kriya, nishta. In nishta, the shraddha get more condensed. Ruchi, asakti, bhav, and then prema. But one big ocean of anartha nivritti is what we are struggling. So, this is what Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is teaching us, how to get out of this anartha nivritti. So, Dvitiyam sadhan prata kalya bhajan. The first 6 dandas of the morning, approximately Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying 6 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. 6:30 to 8:30 a.m. That's the Dvitiyam sadhan. And first yam sadhan, I described earlier, is 3:30 to 6 a.m. And Dvitiyam sadhan is from 6 a.m. to 8:30. Anarth nivritti in sadhu sangha. So, text 1. There is no consideration of proper or improper time in regard to chanting the Lord's holy names, which are fully endowed with all potencies. There is no consideration of what is proper time or improper time. So, when we say proper time and improper time, what is the meaning improper time? Is there any time which is improper? For sadhus, all times are proper. For materialistic person, all times are improper, because they are not aware of what is the time factor speaking about. What is the time? But for sadhu, there is no proper or improper time. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, to revealing us, see, he's explaining to us, because we are still learning the secrets of bhajan, we are not on the point of bhajan. So try to understand this one. Sadhan and bhajan is not one and the same thing. It's two different things. After crossing the stage of anath nivritti, when the bhajan, means when the sadhan, get condensed to nishta and ruchi, then every activity which was considered as sadhan is now bhajan. But prior to that, other activities which we considered as bhajan is just mere sadhan. Why I'm saying this? Because once Srila Gurudev asked me this question. I was in Haridwar. There's one center on the bank of Ganga. Srila Gurudev came out from his room and just All of a sudden, he asked this question: are you doing sadhan or are you doing bhajan? And I was confused. I said, I'm not doing anything. I'm not. What to speak of bhajan? I'm also not doing sadhan. He said, no, that's not the right answer. Then he described. He said, you understand what is sadhan and what is bhajan? I said, Srila Gurudev, uh, can you please elaborate on this? I'm not understanding what you are asking. Srila Gurudev said, at your stage, even if you considered you doing bhajan, that's only sadhan. In my stage, even if it appears I'm performing sadhan, that is my bhajan. Okay, to make it simple, chanting, worshipping deities, offering pranams to deities, in all the activities, so let's say performing 64 limbs of bhakti or 9 limbs of bhakti or 5 limbs of bhakti, in immature stage, without in immature stage with distractions is sadhana, and mature stage with attractions is called bhajan. You understand? Immaturely practicing without realizations and with distractions every moment, that's what is only a sadhana. So we are on the stage of sadhana. There's so many distractions around us. The worst distraction is our own mind, which is not helpful all the time. Sometimes. But at the stage of, there's one stage where it's uh, fully, maturely, without any distractions, but with all attractions to one and one object, not Dvitya Vinesha, not second absorption, but only one absorption, that is Krishna and the parikars of Krishna. There's one abhinivesh, one absorption. Whereas with us is Dvitya Vineshata. Bhagavatam says, Bhayam Dvitya Vineshata Syad Viparja Smriti. Second absorption. Because of Maya, the influence of Maya, and that is called distraction. Second absorption. First is Krishna, and second is anything related to Maya. So that's called, this is a difference, a line of difference distinguishing between sadhan and bhajan. On the stage of our Guru Vargas, I mean, in their plane, even if we see they are chanting, they're following Ekadashi, or they're doing Govardhan Parikrama, Vrindavan Parikrama, or Brajmandal Parikrama, whatever sadhan, what we are seeing in them, actually that's their bhajan. And what we are doing is only a sadhan. That's the difference. So there is no consideration of proper or improper time in regard to chanting the Lord's holy names, which are fully endowed with all potencies. Hmm? How many potencies Bhagwan have? How many potencies? Infinite potencies. And imagine that Bhagwan has infused all his potencies in his own names. The reason is, what is the difference between the name of the Bhagwan and Bhagwan himself? What is the difference? Is there any difference? Abhinatva nam namani. No difference. So as Bhagwan possesses all potencies in him, similarly his names also possess similarly all potencies in the names. Because they are identical, they are not two different identities. But we can also claim that we are also identical. My name is Ananta Krishna Das. Is this what my name is? Any name, XYZ, whatever. It's not identical. There's a difference. My names keep on changing every life. But Bhagwan, but Krishna and his parikars, the name always remains same. Even if it is Satyuga. And Naraji is giving mantra to Dhruva. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. That's in Satyuga. The name Vasudeva is not changed. Even in Dwapar Yuga, when Krishna came with his associates, he's still maintaining that name. His names are not changed. Vishnu, Krishna, Ram. Similarly, it's not that when 5,000 years back, when Krishna descended on this planet, Lalita, Vishakha, Tungvidya, Sudevi, Rangadevi, Ashakis, they descend with Krishna and performing pastimes. And after this kalpa over, and the next kalpa when Krishna will come, then Lalita Sakhi will have different name. But she's holding the same name. Same. They are identical, no different. So therefore, holy names also possess and fully endowed with all potencies, as the possessor of name means Krishna possess. So this is wonderfully described in second verse of Shikshashtak. I hope everyone knows this verse. And if you don't, please learn this. What is that verse? Namnam akari bahuda nij sarva shaktis tattararpita nimatehe smaranena nakalaha etadраshi tava kripa bhagwan mamapi durdeva mitrishi iha jani nanuragaha. We can even recite. So if you all recite with me together. नाम अकारी बहुधा निज सर्व शक्तिस तत्रार्पिता नियमिते स्मरणे न कालः एतादृशी तव कृपया भगवान ममापि दुर्दैवम ईदृशिम इह जानी नानुरागा. What is the meaning? O Bhagwan, first of all, see the addressing. That's why, as I always says, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, I really like him so much. Because the way he's teaching us how to approach Bhagwan, with what kind of mood, just by the addressing right in the beginning, shows so much humility. You can simply say, there are many ways of addressing Bhagwan. Oh Bhagwan, you made this material world. Why you put me in this difficult condition and situation, in this unfavorable and sometimes favorable situations? This is one kind of addressing. Duryodhan used to address like that. Demons, they address Bhagwan like that. Or one who is not aware of his karuna, can address him like that. But moment we come to this, not fully understanding, but some understanding, uh, that his ocean of mercy, moment we say, Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu. When we say Karuna Sindhu, means what? Ocean of mercy. That means I'm realizing that actually how he is helping me in my life, how he pulled me out from this material existence where I was burning in that lust, anger, greed, envious, all these negativities. He pulled me out from this material existence and he gave me a ray of that hope. And how he helped me and he's helping me by supplying me sadhu sangha. And I'm getting acquainted with the scriptures, the moods of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the moods of Sri Rupa Goswami, the moods of Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev. How Krishna, you are helping me each and every step. This is just a matter of realizing. This is a matter of realization. It cannot be shared with anyone. It cannot be expressed to anyone. Every individual, every sadhaka, they understand the importance and significance of Krishna. And then, not out of just a respect or out of a formality, one is performing invocation verse, Manglacharan, but with the deepened mood from the heart. Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu. When we realize this, while we utter and chant this, heart melts. Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu. And then Dina Bandhu. I'm fallen and you are friend of the fallen. So therefore I have a hope. Hmm. I I have hope because you are the one who always giving us hope. How hope? Endless hopes. As I always say this, right? From hopeless ends to endless hopes. That's journey from material world to spiritual world. From hopeless ends to endless hopes. So with this mood of hope, and in Bhagavad Gita and in Bhagavatam, Krishna is giving us this hope. I know, Krishna, I know I cannot worship you properly. There are so many negativities, there are so many desires, but I'm not hopeless. She, Rupa Goswami in Bhaktis in Padyavali, he's writing one verse. I forgot that verse right now. But meaning, the essence of the verse is when I hear Prachin Bhaktas, when I hear how the previous Bhaktas attained your mercy and your blessings, I feel hopeless. Because if I compare my sadhana, which has of no value, which is not even proper, when I compare this with those previous Prachin Acharyas, Prachin means previous Bhaktas, how they attained with so much difficulty. They attained uh, the service of your divine lotus feet. When I compare myself, I feel so hopeless. But again, I have a hope because you are Dina Bandhu. You give hope to hopeless people, and I'm one of them. Srila Sanatan Goswami Pad also, he's writing one verse. Uh, न प्रेम शवनादि भक्ति अपि व योगो अथ वैष्णवो ज्ञानम व शुभ कर्म क्यों अपि असजाति वह हीनार्थी के साधे के तोई अच्छेद मूल सती हे गोपीजन वल्लभ व्यथते हाँ हाँ मद ईशु माम. Sri Sanatan Goswami Pad, showing idol of humility, he's uttering this verse saying, I don't possess prem towards you. Na prem shavanadi bhakti. And even I'm not performing properly the 9 limbs of bhakti, starting with Shravan, Kirtan, Smaran. Na prem shavanadi bhakti apiva yoga tha Vaishnava. I'm not even possessed, I'm not even possessing uh, very little minute qualities of Vaishnavism in me. Yeah. Shubha karnava kyopi asti vaha. I don't even have any auspicious activities I perform in my life. Hina thika sadhikai. I'm that fallen. Then what is my hope? Hey Gopijan Vallabh yathate hahamad ishomam. But because Hey Gopijan Vallabh, Shri Sanatan Goswami Pad addressing to the beloved of the gopis, Gopijan Vallabh. I have hope, complete hope, that you always take care of those who are hopeless, and I'm one of them. So just the you see the Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's how he's addressing, O Bhagavan. You see the addressal here. O Bhagavan, your names bestow all auspiciousness upon the jivas. Your names, what names? Krishna, Gopal, Mukunda, Hari, Madhav. Your name bestow all auspiciousness upon the jivas. Mangal Bhavan, Amangal Hari. He is the embodiment of all auspiciousness. And he is the one, and the name destroy all inauspiciousness. So your name bestow all auspiciousness upon the jivas. Therefore, for their benefit, for the benefit of the jivas, you are eternally manifest as your innumerable names, such as Ram, Narayan, Krishna, Mukunda, Madhav, Govinda, Damodar. Just like Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying in that song, Gopinath Mama Nivedan Sunu. जीवर कारणे आसिया प्रपंचे लीला कैले सुविस्तार. For the sake of the jivas, Krishna comes and perform his namatic lila. In Golok Vrindavan, there is Nitya lila, eternal lila. But here, namatic lila, for the sake of the benefit, giving benefit to the jivas, for many reasons, for many purposes. We are not touching that point right now. So because of the jivas, and then similarly, his own Swarup, Krishna's own Swarup, Srimad Bhagavatam, is also manifested in this planet. When Krishna left this planet, Krishna Sudham Upagadate Dharma Jnanadvi Saha Kalo Nashtam Drisham Esham Puran Arkadunita. When Krishna left at the end of Dwapar Yuga, he invested everything. Is in own Swarup. No, what is the doubt in that? Srimad Bhagavatam, Puran Ark Adunita, just like sun, which dissipate all darkness, means dissipate all ignorance by coming in proximity with Srimad Bhagavatam, which is also one of the Swarup of Krishna. So pastimes, Jivare Karane Asya Prapanche, Leela Kaile Suvistar. Krishna is manifesting his pastimes which are non different from him for the sake of the jivas. Krishna manifested in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam for the sake of the jivas. And here, Nam Nam Akari Bahuda Nij Sarva Shaktis, for invoking auspiciousness upon the jivas. For their benefit, Krishna, you eternally manifest as your names, such as Ram, Narayan, Krishna, etc. And not only that, you have invested those names with all the potencies of their respective forms. Krishna also infuses energies, his potency, in their respective forms. Out of your causeless mercy, you have not even imposed any restrictions on the remembrance of these names. As is the case with certain prayers and mantras, they must be chanted at specific times. Like in Srimad Bhagavatam, Gajendra Stuti, Sri Shukdev Goswami, at the end of the chapter, is giving false Shruti, means the benediction. Anyone who read those prayers of Gajendra, what Gajendra performed in the time of this unfavorable circumstance, if anyone reads that before going to bed, he will overcome bad dreams and inauspiciousness. So there are certain prayers which are bound with some time factors and some mantras. Okay, all of us, most of us, we chant the Gayatri mantras. Specific time of morning, the conjunction of morning, night and morning, sorry, and then morning and noon, and then noon and evening. Three conjunctions of the day. A specific time. While we chant mantra, there's some certain regulations we need to follow. I see many devotees, they don't even follow that. First of all, it has to be what? Tilak. No excuse without tilak. Someone may think, okay, applying tilak and then have to go work, office, etc. So better, you just put with water. So this is just an excuse to satisfy the mind. I had spoken on this many times, so I'm not repeating. Everyone knows. But tilak is very important. Even if it is not straight line with a scale, or even if it is curved, doesn't matter. But the mantras is always supposed to be with tilak on the forehead. Otherwise, mantra goes in vain. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, even Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in his pastime, he told this to Mukunda. When Mahaprabhu in Navdeep on the bank of Ganga, he's teaching to students, and Mukunda, he came in the conjunction of means evening. When Mukunda came without tilak, Mahaprabhu corrected Mukunda, saying, Mukunda, where is your tilak? Your sandhya has become vandya. Means your chanting of mantra goes in vain because you're not applying tilak. So much important, applying tilak. And then we have to face east direction and the north direction. We have to sit on our asana. So as much as we can do, if we are if you're a traveler, then it's a different aspect. But if you are situated at your homes, it's very easy to maintain this. Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj Ji always used to say, every person in the family should have their own personal asana to sit on. Not that husband sharing wife asana or wife sharing husband asana. Everyone has supposed to have their own personal asana to sit on and chanting those mantras. So details are there. Achman. Achman is so important. No, no, I came from work, I took shower, I'm pure. But without Achman, you're still impure. Achman is very important prior to mantra. Om Keshwai Namaha, Om Narayan Namaha, Om Madhvai Namaha. Three Achmans. Very important. And that to be in a sitting posture. So some specifications are there. Oh, if the mantras are so much to follow, then why? What is the need to have mantras? Maha mantra is better. Can chant any time, day and night, while lying on bed. For mantra, I have to sit facing particular direction. And this is the whole purpose of receiving mantra, because mantra iti mantra. One who tame the urges of mind. That's is called mantra. And then while chanting mantra, wow, that's very important. While chanting mantra, honestly, that 10 to 15 or 20 minutes, the mantra goes so fast because after that there's so many things to do. But honestly, are we sincerely chanting on the focusing and meditating on the syllable of the mantra or the object of the mantra? Maybe some devotee does. But most of the devotees experience say, no, we can't focus. That's why certain regulations are required. Means proper asana. Then tilak. Okay, forehead tilak, understandable. Can't apply when you're going work. How about uncovered mantras? It has to be Dwadash tilak, right? 12 mantras. And this can be done. And after mantra can be wiped off because of situations. So these activities, and then installing Dwadash mantras, Dwadash tilak with the mantras. It's a very important activity. Srila Gurudev used to do this. Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj, my Guru Maharaj, and I saw many senior Vaishnavas doing this. And the point comes of meditating and the focusing. If we are not on that stage of realizing the meaning of the mantra, at least meditating on the syllable of the mantra, cling, Krishnaya, etc. But that's the time when the mind gets relaxed and gets opportunity to wander in 10 directions. So this is what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is uttering this. Tatrarpita niyamate smaranena kalaha. The predominance of Maha Mantra over other prayers and mantras, highlighting, not minimizing. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not minimizing the recitation of the mantras, but highlighting and focusing on something superior than mantras is Mahamantra. That's why you have not imposed any restriction on the remembrance of these names, as in the case of certain prayers and mantras that must be chanted in specific times of the day and night, which is called Sandhya Vandana. Sandhya Vandan. So it's very important. I'm just sharing with everyone. It's very important to chant the mantra, and then what to speak of that stage of Kaviraj Goswami, sorry, Shri Vishnu Chakur Thakur, not understanding the meaning of the mantra. Where is that half moon amongst 24 and a half moon which is present on the uh, body of Krishna? He able to understand, he got the point. In that Gayatri, there are 24 moons, but where is that half moon? That's very high stage. And because he was not able to understand that, he wants to jump into Radha Kund and end up his life. Because he's not able to realize the where is that half moon in the body of Krishna. That's very far. We can't even imagine that point. Right now, struggling with meditating even the syllable of the mantras. Guru mantra, Guru Gayatri, Gaur mantra, Gaur Gayatri, Krishna mantra, Kam Gayatri. And I get this common question everywhere in the world when devotees ask how to control the mind, especially, specifically at the time of chanting mantra and Mahamantra. How? So on a very general level, is that while chanting mantra and Mahamantra, we can visit those because mind always wants to wander, right? Let the mind go, but make the mind go in those places of pastimes of Krishna. Take the mind to Navdeep Mayapur Dham, Kaurai Swaha, at the Yog Pit, birthplace of Mahaprabhu, Shiva Sangam, Advait Bhavan, Gadadhar Bhavan, all these places of pastimes. This is practice. Chanting Krishna mantra, Kama Gayatri, come to Vrindavan. There's so many places to visit. Govardhan, Radhakund, Shamkund. This is how we can practice. And with chanting Harinam, also practice. We can do some seva. Seva of any deity in Vrindavan. So let's say Radha Damodar temple. If you want to enter inner chambers of Radha Damodar temple to just put garland on the neck of Damodarji, the pujaris will not allow you. But while chanting anywhere in any part of the world, while chanting, if you string garland with your own hands, and you can enter inside the chamber, the inner section of the temple, and you can even garland Damodarji. This is how this is called living in Vrindavan Dham, living in any part of the world. But there is another level. I met one devotee recently in Vrindavan. Said, "Oh, it's so difficult to live out of Vrindavan. How people can live out of Vrindavan even after hearing so much? How they can live out of Mayapur Dham, where everything is surcharged with spiritual emotions and spiritual uh, realizations and darshans. How is how they're maintaining this? How you people maintaining this? Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada said, publishing books, distributing books is a seva to Shiv Dham Mayapur. So what is that meaning? If you publish book, printing book, distributing books, are you distributing in Mayapur Dham or you have to go out from Mayapur Dham? Even while publishing books, you have to go out from Mayapur Dham to cities like Delhi, Calcutta, etc. So are you outside of Mayapur Dham is just the matter of consideration, it's just the matter of realization. We are where our consciousness is. That's a simple formula. We are situated where our consciousness is situated. If my consciousness is situated in Mayapur Dham or Vrindavan, which I want, no matter if I stay any part of the world, I'm in Vrindavan Dham. But if I'm in Vrindavan Dham and my consciousness is, why is going Australia to preach? Why I'm not getting visa? I also want to do like that. I want to do this. So you are where your consciousness is. I am where my consciousness is. It's another level of understanding. So there are different layers and there are different levels. That's why always I say maturity in bhajan. Maturity in bhajan. Therefore, in other words, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, in other words, the holy name of Bhagwan can be chanted and remembered at any time of the day or night. This is the arrangement you have made, O Krishna, O Prabhu. You have such causeless mercy upon the jivas. Nevertheless, due to my Nam Aparad, I am so unfortunate that no attachment for your holy name, which is so easily accessible and which bestows all good fortune, has awakened with me. Understand? Just praying like this itself while chanting Harinam is called focusing on Harinam. Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Maharaj used to say, don't chant mechanically or as we say, pulling the ropes. Focus on the quality of chanting. But while saying this, he's not saying not focus on the quantity. Means that fixed number of rounds we are chanting every day. But higher focus, higher focus is supposed to be on the quality of chanting. Srila Bharati Maharaj always used to tell his devotees like that. Everyone. Quality. So even just these prayers. Okay, if I don't know the words, doesn't matter. But at least I can know. I'm supposed to be aware of the meaning of the words. So ending up today's lecture by again repeating, can we just practice this 1 week? Just 1 week practice. Just focus on this one verse of Shiksha Ashtakam by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Even if we don't know word to word translation, but just grasp the essence. I'm repeating again. O Bhagavan, your names bestow all auspiciousness upon the jivas. Therefore, for their benefit, you are eternally manifest as your innumerable names such as Ram, Govinda, Krishna, etc. You have invested those names with all the potencies of their respective forms. Means all the potency is invested in the name itself. Out of causeless mercy, out of causeless mercy, you have not even imposed any restriction, any time factor, or purity or impurity, or distraction or attraction. No restriction of any sort of chanting this name, any specific time, like other mantras, nothing at all. So the names of Bhagwan can be chanted and remembered at any time of day and night. This is arrangement you have made, O Krishna, Karuna Sindhu, O Dina Bandhu. This is a nice arrangement you have made for me, O Prabhu. You have such causeless mercy upon the jivas. Nevertheless, due to my nam aparad, because I'm inattentive while chanting your name, that's the worst nam aparad I'm doing. The 10 nam aparads, Satan Nindam. The very first is criticizing sadhus, very common. Hmm. Arthavad, Shruti Shastra Ninda, there are 10. The worst is inattentiveness in chanting. So, nevertheless, due to my Nam Aparad, I'm so unfortunate that no attachment for your holy name, which is so easily accessible and which bestow all good fortune, has awakened within me. So easily accessible. Hey Krishna, very hot today. Oh Krishna, there's war. Oh Prabhu, why there's war? So easily accessible. Huh? It's so easy to chant Ram or Krishna or Mahamantra, which bestow all good fortune. And that's why, sorry to say, I'm including myself in that. Bhagavatam chastising us with this word. Mand sumand matayo, mand bhagye hi upadita. Prayana alpayu sabbe kalabasi yuge janaha, mand sumand matayo, mand bhagye hi upadita. This is situation of all of us. Mand sumand matayo, very mand, dull intelligence. Mand bhagye hi upadita, bad fortune. So with this mood of lamentation, this mood of eagerness, this mood of yearning, when we are chanting, even if it is one round or two rounds, that gives so much strength and insight. We feel the proximity of Nam Prabhu while chanting Nam. This is universal and this is for all of us. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Bolo Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki Jai.